Hello, my name is Anthony Wall. There's a judge in Napolitano with a Judging Freedom YouTube channel. And for decades, there are increasingly people at and next to each of the campuses that I went who have been putting fake ties, fake natures and ties to me, with people putting predicate acts with facts in the databases behind my back. And then and then acting behind my back too, tied to it. Then they try to make fake exceptions and they hide what's really recorded about that. Because these are also names on all sides of criminal and civil cases, where the court's names and the sides on the cases and the news at the same time have been putting sequence shifts. The Morrow family has a bunch of people on Elm Streets in Rocky Hill and Weathersfield, recorded, confessed, demonstrated, confirmed. They're also making confessions tied to what they covered up. In other words, too, O'Brien family is increasing. I never saw them with a DeMoro family, an O'Brien family, and a Colo family have people involved with some body dumping spots, increasingly different body dumping spots, and organized crimes. And their roles, the Colo came to my school in fourth grade. Joe DeMoro came in fifth grade, and Eric Klotz came in sixth grade. And they've been putting fake things with some people on Fairlane Drive tied to me. That's a street near me. I never had a word of conversations with them. Joshua Stryker has also been planting evidences in databases, and they have people involved with the Kalal family involved that confessed that it's also their roles with all sides of the Weathersfield Community Center at it. I only saw Joe Demore there real quick with a Ray Clo at one time, and then make confessions about the people next to a body dumping spot and a tunnel house that used to be near there. And apparently they had conversations with me behind my back to people about that with me. I mean, with my name, because that's how they use investigation investigators, remotely criminally forward influenced. They have multiple already proven child abusers, leaders of the kids, years apart. So if this Aaron Mate, even if he's not related to a Demoro's brought the name Napolitano into it, and one of the Demoros looks just like would be the kid of a Joe Demoro. A Joe Demoro and a John Demoro have also a Dawn LaConch involved with identity theft, fraud, slavery. I never had a word of conversation with her in my life. There are proofs that they try to take a picture near me with her so they could cover up and maintain self-value roles, cover up the sequence shifts and predicate acts that Heather Hansen and Joe Demoro have with her other boyfriends too, involved with identity theft, fraud, slanders against me. I never had a class with Heather Hansen. They tried to make a fake exception by putting me in a middle school class. A bunch of people involved with that teacher and spots associated with him. He repeated too as demonstrations. I never had a personal conversation with him. I have one sentence I spoke with on social media before. These are people involved with interbranch forging and switching names. There's a Judge Smith involved with some sexual and medical offenders past who has been putting fake things in records at New Britain Superior Court with them, and with some judge, a prosecutor named Salisbury, and there's a whole bunch of people tied to it, as of Brian Silver, involved with wire crime acts and methods, mail crime acts and methods, and interbranch refusing to identify themselves legitimately so they can keep stacking more fake things, and collusion slash S-no. These are sexual and medical offenders of kids, also with medicines and drugs crimes with them, with a Leahy family personally and professionally involved with a bunch of people at in the Britain Superior Court putting fake things in their databases, including their educators. There's a John Maiano and others tied to him intimately in other ways who have roles with sequence shifts and putting fake things in the databases at the campus I went with my neighbors. And then, in other words, I didn't even know him until he was in my class. In other words, after I was supposed to graduate. And they've been planting evidences with people that weren't even my grade, with my neighbors. And then he graduated. I didn't graduate because of a speech class teacher. And reason she didn't graduate, she has a whole bunch of collusions with Washington, D.C., and a whole bunch of corruptions with medical corruption and foreign and domestic. I don't even remember her two speech class teachers I have. These are also people at and next to the state corrections offices with the name Demaro, involved with military, involved with the Napolitano name, and a Dave, involved planting evidences with the former director of the FBI, playing the sense and sensibilities of people at boxing gyms. And in other words, it's blocking me from doing business with boxing, schools, and they're lying about their motivations. Oh, that's because they're putting fake thing. I'm way better teacher than them. And they also have more roles with leaders of the kids. These are people involved with leaders of the kids as deans and their kids, principals and their kids, coaches, their families. In other words, they're putting fake things, just repeating fake things. All natures of investigations. Investigators are used remotely, criminally foreign bulls, black field bulls. These are some black KKK themed, Confederate flag theme right on the Facebook page of a principal child abuser, Forrest. These are fake passions and emotions with interreligious nutbags. They have some domain, kept repeating about Jewish thing. I didn't even respond to them. A domain family with some police and some Mendez police. Also attached me to fake conversation with at the police station. The older Mendez brother. I didn't have a conversation with my life. He's increasingly involved with the Napolitanos. What are they doing? What are they doing in Iran? With them looking like the tomorrow. I shouldn't have to keep asking you. Get them on paper with the Wethersfield police on paper. One name and sequence. Get me off the fake conversation with the Mendez and get them on paper with the New Britain Superior Court with the rest of the people. And I want a response to the principal child offenders' confessions and what I recorded them doing and hiding and putting fake recordings to change that. And respond for why I didn't tell the parents that. And get those doctors with the Leahy family. They got their daughter on that too. They put me fake conversations with them. Get them the heck on paper. Judge Napolitano, don't go move forward until I'm responded to. You're gonna get them identified legitimately, and you're gonna get the retired police chief's names too. That's mandated law. You identify them legitimately. Now get them on paper. And get them off the fake news. They put fake news with Fox Connecticut News. WFSB put me in a whole fake conversation with them. Get them on paper. And get them on paper from the sequence shifts and the confessions they made at New Britain Superior Court when I was a kid and since I was a kid. They weren't putting anything in writing. They're sticking roles and collusions with a whole bunch of other countries. Fear God, died black. Yes.